The Enneagram certainly has become a conversation starter in many circles, but what do you do with that knowledge once you have it? Jackie Brewster, a certified Enneagram coach and experiential specialist, is here to tell us not only to help ourselves, but what we can do with that in relation to our relationships. Is that right, Jackie?
Yes. What do we do with the Enneagram?
Yeah, just really quickly, if someone somewhere has not heard of what the Enneagram is, can you give us like the Cliff Notes version?
The super fast version of this. So the Enneagram is a personality typing system.
Yeah.
And so basically there's 9 different personality types. And so there's 9 different ways of viewing the world. And I like to say like 9 different lenses or colored lenses. And so there's 9 different ways that we all take in information and see the world. And, you know, our focus of attention is different.
Yeah.
And so the Enneagram really helps us to see that. In the work that I do, I help people uncover and discover more about themselves with this tool.
Yeah, and so I was going to say, like, why is it important? But, you know, I think it's become such a catchphrase, right? So why is it important? Like, where can we use this as opposed to just walking around being like, I'm a 3, you know?
Yes, I love that. Oh my gosh. Where can you use it? Everywhere. You can use it everywhere. So the Enneagram is a great tool of awareness for self, but it also gives us practical application as far as like, how do we begin to understand the people around us? How do we use this information in relationship?
Right.
Well, we learn about each other, right, through these different lenses. And so I really think when we dive into the Enneagram, of course, right now it's like the big fad. So it's like the memes and all the things.
Right.
But when you really do the work of the Enneagram, you're beginning to uncover and discover about yourself. And then you get curious around the people that are in your circle.
Yeah.
You start to read about them and you start to understand their heart longing and their unconscious childhood messages and core desire, core fear. I mean, it's a deep dive.
Okay, so that's my problem, right?
Yes.
Like, that's the excitement, but that's the problem, is that it's enough for me to learn about me and the wings and the here I am in health and here I am in stress, and then add on a spouse or a partner or children. We each have a few of those, some more than others. And so how do you like recall that, or how do you do it without, again, just labeling someone unfairly and be like, oh, that's so, you know, 8 of you.
Right.
But actually using it to benefit those relationships.
Yes. So again, we'll use the word awareness. So the awareness that you have, so I work around awareness. So helping people know the whys behind. So Enneagram is different than other personality typing systems because it gets to the root of motivation. So it's not just you're acting these ways, so this is who you are. It's no, the why behind. Why are you doing it? And so getting curious around yourself, and then it takes time to be able to have space to get curious around you and your partner, but the work when it's done together, it is beautiful.
Yeah,
because you know, holding space for both people.
Right, and I've heard, you know, it's also to do these things in a place of health, not to, you know, try to do this late at night, or if you want to have those conversations to try to learn more. What are some other natural ways, especially if one partner's super into the Enneagram and the other's like, I don't want that mumbo jumbo. Right.
Oh my gosh, we get that all the time. Like, don't read that about me. Yeah. So obviously, where do we want to have these conversations? You can have them anywhere. It does definitely depend on the level of health within the relationship. And what I mean by that is the level of trust within the relationship. So if you feel like you're in a relationship that has a lot of trust, a lot of vulnerability, then you can lay in bed and ask some questions around, like, what do you think about this? I think that's probably the best way is, hey, I read this about this number. What do you think about that?
Putting it back onto them to get their perspective.
Yeah. Let me read this to you. What do you hear about that? Is there anything about that would be true for you? So it's more of a question than a telling.
Yeah.
And so, you know,
that's good.
That's
really good. We just have a minute left, but I want to get to, I mean, hearing God speak, so this goes beyond us. You've got some great resources. Just tell us quickly about them and where we can find them.
Okay. Well, Hearing God Speak is a 52-week Enneagram devotional that is chock full of Enneagram awareness and biblical truths, which is my favorite because transformation happens through the help of the Holy Spirit. So that book you can find anywhere. Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Christian Bookstore, all over the place. And then this new resource is amazing, and it comes out March 29th is the projected date, so let's hope we stick to that. But you lift up the box and it's full of cards, and so it's Enneagram awareness in bite-sized pieces. And so this is a great way to start the conversation with family, friends, loved ones, spouses, people you're in relationship with.
I love it.
And that will also be
Available everywhere.
Available everywhere.
All right. Well, Enneagram with JB is where you can find Jackie both on Instagram, the website. This is literally the tip of the iceberg. So if you want to learn more, check her out. Thank you for coming and just piquing our interest and helping us dig deeper today. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.